I don't know, like, she's out there. You're the Florida version of Sex in the City, JD.
That's when I was smoking my cigars.
Don't be an asshole today.
Alright, how are you?
I just wanted to make sure I got the recording done. I'm just waiting for JD. She's a rock star, so she takes a little bit longer in the primping, But
No worries.
I'm super happy to meet you. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, way back when, I may have met you at the Connaught Hotel for an LGBT thing that had like a whole bunch of stalls, and I feel like I remember seeing your clothes.
I've attended a lot of stuff, so yeah, probably.
I believe it. Yeah. Because when I saw the tweet, I'm like, I know this company. Like I've heard of it. I feel like I know it.
Been going for a long time now.
Yes, because this is going way back, like 2012, maybe.
Oh yeah, easily, yeah, because I started the company in 2009.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Holy cow. That's amazing. I have to quickly send JD another another email. She's saying she didn't get it, but I'm so impressed with what you've done.
Oh, thank you. It's been a challenge, a real challenge.
Has it really? I mean, I can imagine, I guess, with the pandemic, of course, everybody's had their challenges, but even going back further, because the Butch Clothing Company, when you hear it, if you're not part of our community, like, first of all, it's going to be like, it's going to ring a bell. It's going to trigger some people. Like, what do they mean? They have to have their own clothing company, that kind of thing. But on top of that, within our community, I find that every once in a while you get people that don't want the label. They don't want a label, and now changing with the non-binary and the pronouns and all that stuff. And I'm not knocking it in any way, but I'm saying you got to constantly be adjusting. There she is. Constantly be adjusting. We'll let her in and get her thoughts on this too.
Can you see me?
There you go. Okay.
I hear you.
JD, that's Shaz. That's Shaz.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Clothing Company.
Yes, how are you?
Yeah, really good. Thank you. Really good. Well, it's very hot over here. It's Florida heat at the moment. So
It is.
It
is. And I got to tell you, I have people that come up to me when I whine and complain and whinge about the heat. It's ridiculous. I can't believe it. It's so hot. I'm going to die. And they go, aren't you from Florida?
I know, right?
And I go, yeah, but they have air conditioning. Like, even the outdoor cafes have misters and fans. So
we've just come back from Florida, but I actually lived in Florida for a year in mid 2000 to mid 2001. I lived in Orlando, and
so
I always say, oh, it's Florida heat, or more importantly, it's not Florida heat, It's like, but now it is.
The difference is, like, with Florida, you got the humidity, and over here, if you just step in the shade, it's like 10 degrees cooler. Whereas in Florida, stepping in the shade doesn't do you any.
Although I've noticed this week, when you step out the car, it hits you like Florida heat.
Yeah, it's been bad. It's been bad, and next week worse. Yeah,
we were just in Florida actually in April.
Oh yeah,
that reminded me.
March. I was home in March.
Yeah, we were March. Well, we were in the Caribbean and then in Florida.
Oh God, yeah, it's a different. Definitely I call it the wet heat. It's a wet heat.
Are the shops air conditioned over there, and the restaurants, or?
Yeah, the restaurants are pretty much. I mean,
controlled.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We were in an Indian restaurant last night, and it had full air conditioning. So.
Oh, that's sweet. I was reading. I know you must be familiar with Kubar in London.
Oh yeah, Cuba. Yeah.
Right. So I was reading a post from Gary Henshaw, who runs it, and it said, join us, summer's here, join us, blah, 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 pizzas on the terrace, this and that, air conditioning, and my eyes went, boom.
Whoa.
What?
Yeah.
What? Yeah, but most places don't, like pubs. I worked in a pub like 3 years ago when we had one of the hottest summers on record. And I could not believe, I felt so bad for the people in the kitchen that I just wanted to cry every night for them. Like it was so bad. We were fortunate enough that, the sun went over our building, kind of 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So we would open these big bifold doors at about 3, and these cool breezes would come in. And it helped. And then me, with my own money, I was buying fans for everybody. Had 2 fans on the bar, had a fan for the guys in the kitchen because I felt so bad, had a fan in the dining room. And and I'm like, why don't you have that? And they were like, oh, our corporation won't pay. And I'm like, fuck that.
Yeah, but they won't pay for 2 weeks of the year. I mean, that's basically our summer. So
Yes. So I was so stunned. I'm like, fuck. They're like, do you want your money back for these? And I'm like, no. Like, not even $20 a piece. I can't believe you've been sweating your ass off for years and nobody thought, well, I'll just bring in a fan. Like, oh my God. So yeah, that got us through summer. But it's crazy. And I get that these are old houses and they're traditional, but this is a fucking new build. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but there's no justification for the expense of air conditioning when this happens so infrequently. I mean, most British summers you
man,
get
you
25, yeah, but
that's the thing. So we bought two. We bought 2 air conditioners.
Yeah.
One for downstairs, one for upstairs. They're coming out on Sunday because Monday and Tuesday we're looking like 37.
Yeah.
And which 95, by the way, in Fahrenheit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's crazy. It's crazy heat.
I mean,
Yeah.
even with the fans though, it's hot. Like it's
blowing hot air. Yeah. It's
hot
we
air.
have a
though, man. I got these Japanese Wuzu fans and I swear by them. I feel like they cool the air. Like when I'm sitting there and I have one pointed right on me, I put a blanket on my lap. Like, I'm not even joking. Like,
the other
they're
extreme.
good.
Really?
we have an upright Dyson fan.
Yeah, those are
which is
right.
very powerful. Yeah, in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Yeah. The cats don't like it when it's on full blast, but they do like it if you turn it down.
Yeah.
So to please the cats, we have to turn it down, and then the cats leave the bedroom.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a lose-lose situation. But
gotta keep the cats happy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
True, man. My cat lays right where I'm sitting because it's a glass table, and there's a fan right there, and there's a fan right there, and he puts them both on him, and he lays. But he's a big hairy Mancoon, so he's a big furry, big guy, and I think he's just like, he does not wear the heat well. Like earlier, it was like yesterday, I couldn't find him, and I was freaking out because he got the windows open a little bit, and I'm like,
yeah,
they're not outdoor cats at all. I'm like, he didn't get out or anything, and I'm looking around in all his spots, and I can't find him, and I open up the bathroom door to go to the bathroom, and he's laying in the bathroom on the mat. It's like no windows, pitch black, and it's the coolest room in the house. And that's where he was, man. I was like, okay, all right.
The our 2 are rescues from Abu Dhabi, so they should be used to the heat.
Yeah,
but they're the 2.5. Well, they're just under 2.5 now, and they've been here since they were 20 weeks. So they're acclimatized to our climate now.
Yeah.
So they don't really like the heat that much, but they're tiny little things. So they do manage to keep themselves cool. But one of them, Basil, he's not coping very well with the heat. It's making him a bit sick. So
I've cleaned up a little bit of puke the last couple of days.
Yeah,
they're not eating that much. They're drinking like crazy. They're not eating that much. But my little one. So you got pandemic cats.
Yeah, basically. I mean, well, just as actually, we got them in December 20. So yeah, pandemic cats. Yeah, some lady took them in London, and then couldn't keep them, couldn't cope, but they're a bit naughty. I think that's what it is. And then somebody on the Diva community site put up that there was cats needed a home with their
Now,
little
there's
pictures.
a site to put it.
Yeah, I know, right? And then she
Yeah.
got, you know, bless her, she got criticised for doing it. But I thought it was a really good thing because we were able to speak to the woman in question, her
Yeah,
friend who
yeah.
had the cats. I mean, probably don't put this on the podcast. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't
We-
want to.
I'll edit.
We'll
I'll
edit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
edit that out. I thought you would. But basically, what happened was this woman didn't want the cats anymore. I think she took on too much with them, and because they were 20 weeks and a bit, and they, you know, they've
Crazy.
ripped
Yeah,
all
it's like
our
the Norman
carpets
too.
and everything. Yeah,
Mhm,
it's like,
mhm.
but they're gorgeous. But we couldn't give them up. But basically, yeah. And she said you need to take them before Christmas. But when it was, so I messaged the woman on the Diva site. She put me in touch with the owner, or the, you know, the person who was looking after them. And then she said, can I zoom around your house and all that? And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. So I said, do you want references from our vet? Because we had animals before, you know. And she was like, no, it's fine. She'll answer a load of questions. And then she said, you can have them. But then she's like, you have to take them now because I want them gone before Christmas. And this was like the 17th or something. And I'm
Oh
like,
my God.
we've got a Christmas tree and we've got this.
Yes.
Anyway, we took them. Boris announced that lockdown on the 19th at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And she was like, you have to come and get them now. So we were going to go the next day or the day after. And we had to 5 hour round trip into central London. I'm in North London. We're Tunbridge Wells now, moved out of London.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And Paddockwood. And yeah, and it was 5 hours round trip because everybody was escaping. Everybody was going.
Everybody was getting out. I remember that. Yeah.
And we got the little things, and that was it. You know, they settled in straight away. But they are outdoor cats. So,
Yeah. I have to say, like, I'm getting a kick out. My neighbor has an outdoor cat that kind of adopted us now. You know, like
Yeah.
he sleeps on our back brick wall. You know, he's always on my shed. If I have the patio doors open, he like I have a screen on him, you know, but he'll push his nose right up against the screen, see what's going on in the house and everything. And, you know, he's always out. I'm out there smoking. He's always out there hanging out with me. And my cats just, they don't get it. You know, they're just like, why is he out there? It's so hot. What's
Idiot.
he doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. But my little one is a pandemic cat too. I got her in 2019 in November, and then come December, you know, that was when everything blew up. So she doesn't know what it's like to be in a house with no one in it, and that scares me.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, like I've always been home. Even now, I'm not going out. I'm not doing anything. Like I know there's subvariants out there. So, you know, I do everything from home.
Codependent cat.
She's so codependent. Oh my God, that's the perfect word for her. She's so codependent. When I went to Florida, was for the whole month of February into March, my wife worked from home, thank God, you know, because I was like, you can't leave her alone. You can't, we don't even know what's gonna, I mean, there's been times when we've been out for 4 or 5 hours, or, you know, Christmas Day, you know, we were gone at my friend's house for the whole day, and she's fine and everything. But, you know, we've not both been away for a period of time where she's been alone, and just cat sitters coming in a couple of times a day. Whereas my big boy, he's all right with it. He doesn't care. He wants the solitude. He can't even stand the little one. So he's happy with it. But her, I'm really, really worried about, you know, when we both head to Florida in November, because she is codependent.
Where's she going though? Into a cattery or?
No, they're home. We have a pet sitter come in twice a day.
All right.
But we're gonna see about maybe my friend Katie will stay here.
Yeah, probably better to have someone stay there.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, we immediately got ours used to the cattery, because I hadn't done that. I had my last 2 cats for 20 years, and we hadn't done that.
Yeah,
and it was a
dropping them
really
off somewhere,
difficult.
you know, at a cattery.
Yeah, we got a beautiful cattery near here, owned by a husband and wife team. They don't have any staff. They run it themselves. Beautifully clean place. Just nice. Really nice place for the cats to be. And they have like we pay for a double pen for them, so they've got plenty of room and stuff. They're not going to appreciate it when we go to Australia for 7 weeks next year, but you know, hey-ho.
Yeah.
Well, they'll be fed, safe.
Well, that's
Yeah.
what we
That's the
figure.
main
Better than
thing,
having someone in the
yeah.
house, because we'll know that they're safe. Do you
Yeah.
know what I
Right,
mean? We'll,
right.
we'll know that they're not going to get run over because they are outdoor cats and that.
Right. That's the other thing
So,
too.
and
like,
they did fine. We were 3.5 weeks in the Caribbean and Florida, and they were fine.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
they're
used to have a codependent pit bull, and she was hard to find somebody to take care of her because
Oh,
it's
she's a
hard
pit
when you
bull.
have a codependent pit bull. But
Yeah.
I used to feel bad. I used to have to board her. I boarded her at the vet because they had a boarding, facility there, but I just wanted to know she was safe, and I didn't
Yeah.
want to leave her in a place where they would be putting her with other dogs and walking her and whatever with other people, because I just never knew when she wasn't mean, but she just got too happy and would be jumping on people, and people don't usually like that with an 80-pound pit bull. So as much as I hated to leave
Funny
her
that.
there, I knew she was fed and she was safe and she was getting her meds.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the other thing. Like, my big boy's he as if he isn't big enough, like he's got to be on steroids twice a day for anxiety. My wife
Yeah,
thinks that from me.
we had that with our dog, Chris. He was we had him for 13.5 years, but he was we got him when he was 2.5, and he was very abused as a little one. And we couldn't put him in kennels or anything like that, people. But then towards the end of his life, I mean, when he was 9, his spine collapsed, and we paid to have his spine rebuilt. And we got another 6 years with him, which is great. But he had like lung disease, heart disease. He had a disease of the nail bed called onychodystrophy. He had lots of things wrong, and he was on a lot of medication. So it was a big ask whenever we went away to have people living here. We used to pay people to come live here. But, well, I said not again, not going to do that again, having people in.
It's hard. It's hard.
In the
Like,
house.
my wife's not here, and I have to give my big guy Bruce a pill. Like, I go through the whole thing with the pill pockets and tucking it away and all that stuff. She just like shoves it in his mouth and off she goes. So when it's up to me, it's like that's her thing, like she gets up in the morning, makes her tea, gives him a pill, and then before she, goes up to get ready, take her shower and get ready to go to bed, she gives him the pill. So she does the AM PM, and when she's away, like she has to go to Australia. And when you go to Australia, you got to go for more than a month.
Yeah.
It's like, it's that you lose 48 hours on each end of the journey and all that. So you really got to make your, stay extended. So I'm on my own with him, and I'm like, following him around with this little pill pocket and trying to get him to take it on. So
It's a disaster. I feel your pain. What you've had to transfer our boys, they're allergic to flea treatment. And so they had to have a special tablet. But then after 3 months, they got wise to taking the tablet. And it was costing me literally hundreds of pounds. Keep trying to replace these tablets. They kept spitting them out. And so now they have a thing in the back of their neck, a special one that they're not allergic to. And then tonight, I went to pick up the wormer this afternoon, went to give them the wormer, got fresh prawns and everything from, because they love prawns.
yeah.
Nah, spat it out, both wasted it, another 20 quid down the toilet. So my wife tried, I tried, no good. No, we were chasing them around the kitchen, in the end screaming at each other because we're not we're trying to get these bloody pills down these cats. No, nothing. So I'm gonna have to phone the vets tomorrow and say we need an injection or something for the wormer, because they just won't take the tablets.
Oh man,
And you try and get them in their mouth and they no.
Yeah, like my wife balances it on her finger, and then she just like pulls down his lip with one thing and throws it in the back of him, and it happens so fast he doesn't even know, and then just
She's so clever.
yeah, he doesn't even get it. But my friend told me that the magic trick with the pocket, the chewy things, is Greenies salmon flavored, and I can't find it. So
What are they called?
Greenies, that's the brand.
Greenie. Yeah, Greenie.
And it's the salmon flavored pocket, because they make them in chicken and beef, but you got to get the ones for cats, and you got to get salmon flavored. And she said that she has not had a problem in years since she discovered these. And I'm like looking on Amazon and all that. They have chicken, and my cat, he will do the chicken one. And it took something like, I don't even know, it was like 3 weeks or something, like, to get them sent here. I don't know where I bought them from, because I bought them from Amazon,
Mhm.
but it took 3 weeks. But I ordered like 7 bags, so I'm ready for her next trip.
Yeah.
I'm so ready. I
But
got-
unfortunately, our two have decided that they used to like the chew stick things, and
Yeah.
now I stupidly bought these dried treats from
Uh-huh.
Waitrose
Yeah.
from a company called High Life, and I bought these treats, and now they're dried, but you can't get a tablet in them. So they
No.
go mad for these treats, but they're
Can
hot.
you wet them? Can you wet it?
They wouldn't eat them if they were wet. They like them
No,
dry
they like
and
the crunchy. Yeah.
uh,
Oh wow. Yeah. They run our lives. Like
really.
I've gotten to the point now where I get it. We're more worried about them in the heat than we are ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, I've missed my own medication because I've been so freaked out about having to give him his that I've completely forgot about mine. They run our lives. It's ridiculous. All right. So much for cats, because I know JD, you gotta go. You gotta go in a half an hour. So I just want to first of all, thank you. I know this is late and I know that it's hot and you're all dressed up, and that's so nice of you.
I was very excited to meet you and hear about, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt
Yeah,
you.
It's-
And hear
I
about
mean,
what you do.
look
Thank
at
you. Yeah, nice to meet you both as well. Really, really cool to meet you.
it's,
Thank you for
it's-
inviting me to do this.
I saw the tweet and I saw that you were launching in the US. So it's the Butch Clothing Company. Like, and I was just going over this with Shaz early. I'm pretty sure that I met Shaz in 2012 at the Connaught Hotel at an LGBT fair or something. And I remember the name Butch Clothing. So when I saw the tweet about it, because that was a retweet from someone, saying congratulations that you're going to be launching in the US. And I'm like, I know that name. And I was racking my brain, and that's it. I think that was it. And I thought, wow, that was like 2012. You're plugging along. It's 10 years later. How did you decide that? First of all, I do. That was a cat. Okay. How did you keep the company going for 10 years and now decide to launch in the US?
Yeah, no, that's a bit of a fallacy actually, that we're only just launching now. We've been in the States and in Canada and globally since 2010, because I came up with the idea of Skype consultations way back when, because I was getting so many. There was a big launch when we launched in the UK. The Guardian did a big feature on us. Diva magazine did a big feature on us, as did Curve. The editor Maren Johns
Right.
put that together in the put that together for me in the States, so that was great. Because of that I was getting so much interest, that there were so many US and Canadian, Australian clients that wanted to work with us, that I had to very quickly come up with a concept of these Skype consultations. Basically what's happened is Maren now runs Queer 40, and said, Shaz, let's do a piece, and let's tell them you're still out there. Let's tell them that, that it's available. So that's basically what that Queer 40 piece is.
Okay,
It's
that's
kind of just
awesome, though.
reminding people that we're still here, because the pandemic's hit us very hard. Very hard.
No one
and
was going
people
out. No one needed to be,
Yeah.
no one needed to be dressed up. No
weddings
weddings
canceled.
happened.
Yes.
Yeah, people are going much more casual into work now, and it's with all the inflation and the cost of living rises. People don't have the money for luxuries, and the Butch Clothing Company make high-end bespoke suits. I never wanted to sell cheap suits. It was always about making a quality product, because I wanted it to be that as women we got the same opportunities as men got when they could go somewhere like to Savile Row tailors and to buy expensive, nice quality suits that weren't going to fall apart in 5 years.
Right.
I wanted to create something, and I've always realized that it's not for everyone's pocket. I do realize that there are, there's a large proportion of people that can't afford what we do, and I've been criticized for that. But you don't criticize Mercedes for making high-end cars when Ford make cars that are much more affordable. So why would you criticize a bespoke tailors for doing the same? And I used the finest Yorkshire mills in the UK to create our suits from the most perfect fabrics. And they'll last for years and years and years, and I would expect them to live as long as the person that buys them. I mean, I'm that confident with what we do. And I mean, we're 2009, it's 2022 now. I'm still wearing the suits that were made back then, and I know a heck of a lot of my clients are. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like, the proof is in the pudding.
Right.
But yes, it's an interesting, it was an interesting concept right from the start. You asked me about the name of the company and how that's been perceived
Yeah.
and
How was that
received.
received? Yeah.
It's an interest that's interesting in itself, in the fact that I did not know what to call the company when I started it. I was working, I started work at 17 in the West End theatres. I was very fortunate to be working with people like Danny Boyle and Gary Oldman,
Yeah. Wow.
all those kind of people. I had a fantastic career for 15 years in West End theatres, and then went into very high-end live events. Was one of the senior project managers just before the Millennium Dome opened, when they needed people to come in and sort out the finishing off of all the zones in the dome. And I worked in very high-end events with celebrities, pharmaceutical companies, banking companies, and I got to sort of travel the world. And by the time I then met my wife in 2008, and then by 2009, I kind of said enough traveling, enough live events, and I'm exhausted. I was in my early 40s, 43, I think, at the time, and I look so much younger than I actually am. Yeah, really. That's what I tell people. No, and I just said I want to do something different, and Sue was like, "What are you going to do?" And I said, I don't know. And she said, "Well, you've been moaning about having to wear men's suits and how badly they fit you and how you hate it. Why don't you think about something along those lines?" So basically, the company was born out of my own need to have suits that fitted me properly and to feel as good as I knew that my male colleagues did in theirs.
Right.
I wanted to look as good as they did in their suits, but I wanted something that was going to fit my form. So I wanted a masculine style suit as opposed to a male suit or a man suit.
I
So-
love so much about everything about your story. I'm sorry, continue. I love the fact that you're unapologetic about your suits being more expensive because they're better quality, because I always believe you get what you pay for in life in general.
Thank you.
And I love that you reinvented and you started something new, and a whole different type of career, and you're an entrepreneur for something that you had a need for. Like, everything about your story is so inspiring.
And
Thank you so much.
It really
Enjoy
is
hearing
needed.
this.
You know,
Yeah.
my wife got asked to be a best man at a wedding. And, right. And
Yeah, done it myself. Yeah.
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 And she was really flustered about what to wear, like she didn't just want to wear, her own trousers that fit really well with a nice shirt and a blazer. Like, she wanted it to be smart, and she
Mhm.
wanted the vest underneath. And, it wasn't that it was an upscale wedding, because it was just in Farnham, but it was, at a beautiful cottage, and
Yeah.
it was an amazing ceremony and everything. And she ended up having to do the Savile Row thing, to get the suit made, and didn't, like, again, because we weren't really thinking, on the lines of like of a Butch Clothing Company,
Yeah.
but that was a need, like that right there, and we should have, now looking back. But the thing is that there are occasions and events and things that you do want to look your best, like I can't think of one right now because I haven't done shit in the last
I
4 years.
think there's lots of things in life that need smart clothing. I would like everybody to realize that one bespoke 3-piece can carry you through life and make you feel amazing, because you only, we, as gay women, we often don't feel confident in our clothing. We often have to go into the men's department. We're often treated
It never
badly.
fits right.
It never fits right.
right.
There's a lot of other tailoring companies out there that are offering clothing to gay women, but they don't get it because they don't live it, as
Right.
far as I'm concerned. So they never get, I think some people get lucky, get a great fit, But you know, mostly it's about understanding the person as much as it is creating the garments, because I create the garments based on the profile of the person that I'm speaking to, that I've got to know, that I've measured, that I understand,
Right.
whose
Because
life
everybody's
is
body is different. Like our shape
exactly,
sizes are so different that
and their life is, you know, it's the same but different to mine. Do you
right.
know what I mean?
Right,
So
right.
there's a commonality there, but I think if everybody bought one 3-piece suit and they had a waistcoat, a vest, you know,
Mhm.
to wear with t-shirts, and to wear with shirts, and to wear, you know,
Yeah.
with shorts, as well as wearing with trousers, if you had a pair of trousers, pants,
Yeah.
that you could wear with t-shirts, that you could wear with sweaters, jumpers, that you could wear with other shirts.
Yeah.
If you had a you know, a couple of really good quality bespoke shirts that you could mix and match in, a jacket that you can wear with jeans when you go out for Sunday
Mhm.
brunch, or you could
Yeah.
wear it to the theatre.
Yeah.
You know, the thing is, I say to all of my clients, don't just buy a 3-piece suit for your wedding or for your office or whatever it may be.
Right.
Buy it to wear it in all its many parts with everything in your wardrobe, because one, you're always going to feel fantastic because you've got this bespoke item on. It's
Right.
the one piece in your wardrobe, or the 3 pieces in your wardrobe, that fit you to
Mhm.
perfection.
Right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
consequently, everything you
Customized for
match with
your
that is
body.
going to
Yeah.
feel brilliant.
Yeah.
You know, you put on your jeans that maybe you're not that confident with normally,
Mhm.
but you slip your jacket on, and or you
Yeah.
slip your waistcoat on, or your vest. And I'm trying to do the transatlantic thing here, you know, with the
Yeah.
pants and the
Waistcoat
vest,
is the
and
best, Jay.
yeah, the waistcoat and the
Like
vest, you
that.
know.
Yes.
I'm sweltering in this heat tonight, dressed like this,
I
but I
know. I was
have
going to
cheated.
say,
I
if you
have
need
got
to
shorts
unbutton
on.
and roll up, we get it.
Yeah, no, I've got combat shorts on.
Okay,
I
beautiful.
like that.
My wife was like, "Yeah, actually looks really good, Shaz," and I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
Um,
Shaz emails me and goes, I'll be dressed and ready. And I said, and we will not.
and we will not. I know, and that made me laugh. Yeah. So
So,
yeah, I
how-
mean, I think it's sorry.
But I've
I was
told
going
you
to
my
ask
tip.
you, how did you go from like, so you had the idea that you wanted to do this, and that was not what you were, the career you were doing before. So how did you figure out how to get this done? Like get the suits made and where to go, and how did
Yeah,
that
that,
happen?
Fabric choices. You just said they were
Yeah.
local.
Did you?
that's another great question. Well, actually, it was about a year in research and development. I was trying to make this happen. Well, I suppose a lot of the research and development happened after I decided to make it happen. So, and I must tell you how I got the name for the company as well. We'll get back to
Oh
that.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah. We kind of
We have
flitting
to
around.
get back to
But
that. Let's not forget
yeah,
that.
but basically, I knew a lot of film, TV, and theatre costume makers, and I went to them, and they were all really excited about the concept, but nobody could really get the idea of how to make these suits, how to tailor it, because it's not as easy as making a mouse style suit and then just altering it. Although some tailors would have you believe that, but I think that's where I kind of feel that we're ahead of the game, because there's a lot of tricks that we've learned over the years to make it actually work and to make the fit work, where I think maybe other people fall down. So that's a great thing for me to have learned how to do it. And I think being a gay woman and being the person that wanted the suits myself really helped.
Right.
But then I tried Savile Row tailors, again, brilliant people, excellent, loved the concept, didn't get it, started to put lady starts into everything, you know, to make it
Yeah.
much more of a lady's suit, which is
Yeah.
not what I
Yeah.
wanted.
Yeah.
You know, I've never made a suit for my wife, because my wife is you know, quite feminine and wouldn't want to wear one of my suits. So
Right.
it's
Right.
kind of like, you know, although I have had a lot of feminine clients, which is kind of like, you know, because they want that look, but you know,
Yeah.
but basically it was for more for butch women, or for more women that identify as a more masculine style fit, androgynous women, you know, trans men, if they wanted to come. It was much more, we were geared for that, you know. So basically, and I tried local tailors, and I tried lots of different companies who I thought I might be able to work with, and then I found a team based in London, and one of that team is still my design and development manager today.
Oh, that's
And basically, I found this team, and they said, Shaz, you've got a great story, we've got a team of makers, you can set up a studio with us, we'll make it happen. And that's basically what's happened. And
Wow.
we've moved production various times over the years because people have moved on, and we've started here, and we've changed location, and we've done lots of different things, and we've supported lots of different initiatives globally. But which is too long a story to go into in now, because there's too much other stuff to tell you about the company. But yeah, it's been a great journey. It's been a great experience, and that's basically how it got started. And then I said, train me not to be a maker, but train me to do the measurement profile. And as I was a high-end production manager, I used to go into rooms and measure theaters and measure everything. And basically, if you can measure a room, you can measure a person,
Right.
if and as I say, we learned a lot of tricks about what measurements to take and how they should be taken, and everything else. And I did it in a way that I could translate how I do it over Skype to any clients' wives or partners or mothers or aunties. I've done grandmothers. I've had everybody measure the clients, but I show them under my watchful eye how to do it on Skype, basically. And it becomes a very simple process and a very enjoyable process. And you're able to show the fabrics, and as if someone's in the consultation space here, they can do exactly the same thing on Skype. So I've kind of tied the whole thing together in that way. They trained me. I then now show everybody else how to do it. And
That's
the results are
fantastic.
amazing, because I took a lot longer to learn than a lot of my clients take to learn. They do it in the morning.
That's funny.
But then
You know
obviously
the
we
face
have
of
to.
the company, like that's one of the things that probably, makes you unique, is that it's not just your company and you're walking around snapping your fingers at people. You're
Right.
in it, you're in the trenches, you're doing the work, you've learned how to do the work, you're the face of the company, you've got to know every aspect of it. And people are seeing that when they're doing these Skype sessions with you.
I turned down a lot of investment over the years for the company, which
Really?
I felt like I felt in my mid-40s, I was too old to be bothered to become a millionaire. Do you know what I mean? If that makes any sense. Because to become a millionaire, you've got to be hard-assed, you've got to be prepared to travel, you've got to give up the life that you know. I wanted to have a living wage, basically, that would keep me going. My wife has a good job, I have a good job, and we can have a nice lifestyle. And that's what I wanted, because and because I didn't want anybody else. I wanted me to be the
Final
Butch Clothing
say,
Company,
yes,
basically.
final say.
Because I want everybody to be able to have the experience of working with me, because I understand who they are and I know their story, because as I said before, their story is my story. And it's kind of like it's the way that the other thing that I always say to people about the suits is, when you want to get a suit, you want to, and you want to buy a Mao style suit, you kind of go, look, I loved my dad, most people, some people, but I did, but I don't want to look like him in a suit.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't want to look, and most people, and there's a commonality there that instantly people get it. They go, yes, that's it. I love my dad, but I don't want to look like my dad does in a suit. I want to
Yeah,
look
my
like
fear
me.
is like, I don't want to look like a used car salesman.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Or I don't want to look like Harvey Lacey, from
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
Cagney.
I love Harvey Lacey.
Yeah.
Love him, but I don't want to
Yeah.
look like him in a suit.
Right.
That's why I think, like when my wife has slowly transitioned from someone, because she's got a great little figure, but she's transitioned from like a skirt wearing, or pencils, businesswoman, pencil skirts and blazer, that kind of transitioned into a more tailored, refined look for work. Like she works in a professional setting, and although it's casual now, but on her way up, I think it was interesting to see that transition of wearing more tailored trousers and button-down shirts and blazers and stuff like that. But then like I said, for this wedding, when she had the whole suit like made, it looked so nice and so smart. And it was, I want to say, just a little bit left of masculine, because it was, but it wasn't. You know what I mean? When
That's the
something-
secret.
Yeah, and when you see like a celebrity wearing like a tuxedo jacket or something at the Oscars or whatever, it's still a really nice suit. You know,
Mhm.
you see Kate Blanchett wearing, a really nice
Right.
suit, like you go,
Right.
oh man, I wish I looked like that in a suit. You know what I
Right.
mean?
And that's the secret. It's about taking each client because, the Butch Clothing Company came about, the name. We'll get back to that and I can explain how this links into
Yeah.
that.
That on
Is,
deck.
yeah, there's always a link. The Butch Clothing Company came about because I didn't know what to call the company, and we were around some friends for dinner, and these friends are well-known political feminists, and they were like, "Well, what are you going to call this company then?" And I went, "I don't know what I'm going to call it," and they were like, "Well, what's it do then?" I said, "Well, I want to make clothes for butch women, basically," and they went, "Well, there you go then. That's the company." And I was like, "Oh yeah, the Butch Clothing Company," and I was like, "Yeah, because that would really create a positive to the word butch again." So that would make,
Right.
and it would mean that every gay woman in the world would know that it was a company for them,
Yeah,
because they may not identify as butch, and probably 70% of my clients wouldn't actually identify as butch. They
right.
might say they want a more masculine style suit, or they might, some of them do look like Kate Blanchett. Do you know what I mean? That's the
Yeah.
truth of it as well,
Yeah.
But they would know that it was a company for them, and that has worked
Right.
brilliantly,
Yeah.
over the years.
It's the
because-
inclusion. It's the inclusion
Exactly.
in it,
Yeah, I
like,
mean, it may have put some people off. I don't know, possibly, but who knows? I mean, the point is, it's a gay company. It's a gay-owned business, founded by a gay woman who's lived the experience, and people love it. I mean, the reviews that we get are phenomenal. In fact,
yeah.
we've started blogging on the website every month now.
Oh, that's cool.
And one of the blogs coming up is containing a lot of reviews, because I
Oh,
think there's
cool.
not enough reviews, that I don't put enough reviews out there, and I should put more out, because
Oh, for sure. That's like
and my clients are always
Yeah.
willing to speak to other people. They're always willing to speak to potential
That's
clients,
great.
because they love. We get invited to weddings, which is fantastic. I mean, my wife and I, because
Yeah.
people, we form. I form such bonds with their clients if they want to.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
But it's just that it's common ground, isn't it? It's
Yeah, and it makes for
it
great
goes
work.
beyond. Yeah, I mean, mate, you must realize that a lot of my clients come to me and they've had such negative purchasing experiences
I'm
Yeah.
that they've
yeah.
spent half their life in tears over literally, they will say. And the last client I had last weekend was like, I literally I literally cry when I go out shopping.
Yes.
And that's that's
It's really
horrible.
like, if you think about it, I don't know about you, Jay, but I remember for my wedding, I was first of all, I was married to a man
Oh,
back in the 90s. That whole experience of a wedding dress was hideous. Like, people are feeling you
Yeah.
up, squeezing you in places you don't want to be touched, and pinning things, and back for fittings and fittings and fittings and all that. That was hideous. But going back even further, like, never forget the first time one of my friends told me, I said, I always say, I'm so uncomfortable. My bras are so uncomfortable. I can't stand them. And they said to me, it's because you haven't had the right bra.
yeah,
And I
the
went,
right fit.
"Okay, all right."
Right.
So we went to this place, I'll never forget it, in Florida, in South Florida, owned by old Jewish lady. I think it was one of my friend Donna. It was maybe her or her mom said, you got to go to Bras Plus. So I went to this place called Bras Plus, and these 4 Jewish women ascended on me, and like, no shame in their game. They were just flinging the dressing room door open. They were like squeezing, tucking, lifting, putting, and I came out and I had a very comfortable bra, but the experience was hell. You know what I mean? Like, it was pure hell. And I'm like, and I started thinking to myself, I can't remember a positive shopping experience for any type of clothing ever.
Yeah.
Ever. Like, it's always a nightmare, whether you're having a fat day, or you're feel well, or you're whatever the thing is. I've just never had a really great shopping experience. I have one place now that I will only shop at, and that's Torrid in the Coral Square Mall. Jay, the Coral Square Mall. It's
I
torrid.
know
God
it.
forbid if they ever go out of business, I'm so effed. It's not funny. But and I'm 53 and I just found this place like, I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago. And it's the only place I will buy my jeans. It's the only place tops I can get away with like screwing off whether they are comfortable or not. I don't even buy them in stores anymore. I can just order t-shirts from Amazon. But the thing of it is that it's never been a pleasant experience. And because of the relatability, you've had this experience and, you probably hear it from every client every time, like, oh, I paid this much and I'm not happy with what I look like in it or what it,
Right.
whether it fell apart or not,
Yep.
or, all the complaints, and you've been like through it all. So when somebody comes to you, you literally know all the scenarios,
Yep.
it's just, I think that's amazing because I can't remember a salesperson or a tailor ever agreeing with me when I say, my arms are big up here, so I want some room. I don't want this to be tight. I need, whatever.
Right. Right.
They're
Yep.
not listening. They don't
No.
care.
It's interesting, and I throw that into my measurement profiles as well, because I really talk to the clients. I really get to know them, and I really want to know. I always do a phone call before we have the Skype consultation, or before they turn up here, so that they know a lot about me and I know a lot about them. But then when we're doing the measurement profile, it's the same thing. I say, tell me how you want this to fit. And then, we add our tolerances and do various other things to it that I'm not going to, trade secrets and all that. I'm not going to tell it, because otherwise everybody will be doing it
Yeah, we're not
successfully.
asking for the secret.
But no, I mean, when they want that, when they want to have more room in their,
some places want
jackets
a
or
tighter,
their
people
shirts.
like everybody's different. Like some want a tighter fit.
Some people want it tight fitting,
Yeah.
absolutely, and they want, the skinny,
Right.
I mean, funny enough, that's not what's in this season. What's in this season is going for the much more 80s, looser, more casual look with the pastel colors or the brightness. But yeah, I know, really is going back to that. But up until this point, it was, or up until COVID at least, it was really the more slim fitting, tighter fitting suits with
they
narrow
never look comfortable.
ankles.
But I mean, that's
people love them,
Yeah, to each their own. That's
Why the
thing.
narrow ankle thing? I was not a
I
fan.
love that. See, I love that.
I'm
So,
okay with,
like,
I'm
I'm
totally
like
okay with
dreading
skinny
flares.
jeans. Yeah,
I'm like dreading
I'm
the
okay
flares now.
with
Back
tailored, tapered. It's Jay, you've always been like a flare bottom.
I
boot
like a
bottom.
flare. I
Yeah.
do. Very
Yeah.
hard to find, but I
I've
know
never looked good in them. See, like that's what I mean. Everybody's different. And
Yeah,
when
rather than a flare, people just go for a wider leg now.
yeah,
So like a standard
I
mount
noticed that too.
is 17 inches,
Mhm.
and most of my clients will go for 15. But now people are getting wider. They want to go. So it's just
it is nuts. Like
interesting.
that's another thing too, is you do have to stay on top of the trends because they're ever changing. Do you ever look at a trend and just go, ugh, nope?
Yeah, I mean, I quite like that. I did that. I'm 56, and I did the whole kind of Don Johnson jacket, t-shirt, rolled up sleeves, and I've ordered. For myself, I order my own suits as well, and I've had roll up sleeve ones and that kind of thing. And other people have gone, oh no, when I offer that to clients, I go, oh no, and I go, oh, I really liked mine, but I think the thing is, all the pastel colors and stuff are coming back and all that, and I kind of go, yeah, great. And like linen's really in this one. I've just had a new linen suit, and that's great. But then they start going on about the fact that the wide leg trousers are coming back in.
Yeah.
That it's coming a lot more baggy. That the shoulder pads are coming back, and I've gone, oh no, let's not. But it's what's back. So and I follow the male fashion trends. To see where they're going, to see because I know that's going to be reflected in what my clients are asking for.
Right.
So I need to stay on top of it. And Meryn Johns from, formerly of Curve and now of Queer 40, she said to me, Shaz, write me a piece on what the latest, let me know what the latest trends are. So, people do ask me to comment. And yeah, I'm always happy to. I like to stay on top of it, but yeah, a lot of it I don't like. And some of it. But
I
then,
know.
but yeah, I always say to people, you know what? You don't want to look like me, and I don't want to look like the next person, and they don't want to look like that person. Everybody wants to look like themselves in a suit,
Yeah,
Right,
and that's the most
exactly.
important thing.
yeah. It
Where
really
are
is.
you? Where can people buy your suits? Are you have shops or
No,
you?
no, it's all one-on-one bespoke tailoring. So basically, people contact me for a consultation, and they can come here and have a consultation in our consultation space in Paddock Wood, where I have a space and fitting rooms. And you were talking about lots and lots of fittings. We only ever do what the first fitting, and then if there's anything required, any alterations, any remakes or anything, they come back for a second fitting. Nobody's ever been back for more than one fitting. So
Oh,
yeah,
wow. That's
so that's
fantastic.
great. Yeah, and basically you can find us at our website www.thebutchclothingcompany.co. No, it's not .co. It's now .com. Or they can reach me, Shaz at the Butch Clothing Company .co.uk. And that's how you do it basically. And it's I've deliberately kept it so it's all about me basically. So they come,
That's
it's all about
fantastic.
me, you know.
So
I mean,
where are you? Where are you in the U.S.? I'm sorry, Denise, I need to interrupt you.
it's all done online now, like for
It's
your
so-
global base, like your
Okay,
Australians, your Canadians, your Americans, they can do the Skype consultations
and you
Yep,
do
I'm
so.
right
Okay,
here
right
and they're
there.
right
oh,
there.
okay.
So like
So we do it over online. So like
we
you
do
do
it
it.
online. So if you had a tape measure and someone with you, we could do it right now.
Ah,
So that's how easy it is. If I had all my swatch books and basically I show you the fabrics, the colors, the lining, we talk about the detailing. I have a rail right here when it's Skype that shows lots of different suits on it with lots of different design elements. And
okay.
that's how we work together. And it's
I guess I
very
missed
simple.
that in the
And then
beginning.
you
I'm
just ship
sorry.
them out, right?
So
Pardon?
And then you just ship them out.
Yeah,
That's
basically.
fantastic.
And some people fly here to get them if they want
I
to.
believe it. I do.
Yeah,
believe it.
We've
Ah,
made great friends with people that have flown over to
oh,
get
I
their suits.
love
But
that
yes,
idea.
It's fantastic.
I'm asking for a reason because I have that show in October and I'd love to have, maybe I could have, how much time does it take to get a suit made?
yeah, I normally say 7 to 9 weeks, but we're July now, so if we could easily do one for October. That's not a problem at all. Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
you
And get it
totally
shipped to you.
could.
So basically, all you'd
Totally
need to
could.
do is get a tape measure, get
Yeah.
someone who was with you. I mean, we'd have a phone conversation so that I could find out exactly what you were looking for and stuff.
Yeah.
I'd give you a call, and then you would agree to have, someone with you, partner, friend, whoever, that would measure you under my watchful eye. And basically, as long as you had a tape measure that measured in inches, and we agreed a Skype time, I would call you at that particular time, and then we would sit there and we would do it. It normally takes, I mean, they're such good fun. It can take 3 to 4 hours sometimes, but we can do it much quicker. But normally the
Great.
measurement process itself takes about 45 minutes. But
Mhm.
then it's kind of like, the chat beforehand, and they're looking at the fabrics and they're looking at the design elements and to create the actual suit. And yeah, and that's it. And then you pay on the day, because I have to prepay for all the fabrics and
Right, right.
makers times and all the rest of it. And then your suit's made, and then it's sent to you, and then we do a fitting on Skype just to make sure. Mostly what will happen if there's any slight alterations, like you say, oh, the waistband's a bit loose or anything, you would then take that to a local alterations tailor close to you. But I would give you a sheet that tells them what needs to happen, because it'd be very
Wow.
simple. If it was a major alteration, which basically doesn't happen, but if it was, it would come back here, and then I would have it altered. I have an excellent alterations tailor that I work with locally to me, and she's brilliant, and she really gets it. And yeah, that's it. Basically,
Great.
it's a very simple process.
You should do it, Jay.
Told
You
you,
should get a
I
nice
think I
fitted
should.
suit for this.
I should. You know what happened? My niece got married a few years ago. I would say it's probably almost 10 years now. I I had to wear the bridesmaid dress, right? But then the deal was after the salad was served for the dinner, I was allowed to change into my suit.
That happened to me when I was 10. I had to wear a pink bridesmaid's dress, and they told me that I could put a trousers and t-shirt on when up for the evening meal. My mum said I can wear trousers and t-shirt in the evening. So I feel your pain.
So I did that, right? But I was lucky enough to find like a women's tux, like a Michael Kors made one that had like sequins on the lapel. But that was really a lucky find because you can't find anything like that. And so prior to me finding that, I went into a men's tuxedo store, but like you said, nothing fit right. Like the vest didn't even fit right. I had to clip it in the back because when I got it to fit up here, it was too big on the bottom. Like it's just
a problem. Always too big on the shoulder. If it fits you on the chest, doesn't fit you on the length. If it fits you on the shoulders, it won't fit you on the chest. The trousers always hang too low. The crotch hangs too low.
Exactly.
You know, it's pointless.
This is very exciting. I think I'll get in touch with you.
But JD, you have to remember that we don't do girly suits. Okay, so they will.
I don't want a girly suit.
To be, but I don't do sequins and things like that. Do you know what I mean? But I've got lots of fabrics. I mean, everything from tartan to tweed to lightweight tweeds to normal suiting fabrics. I mean, every color of the rainbow that you could want. If you want a bright green suit, you can have a bright green suit.
Black,
with some
I'm gonna guess
linings.
She's like Johnny Cash, so it's gonna be black. Black
I'm
blazer.
Definitely not the girly girl type.
But you know, you want to think about like an interesting lining. You know, linings make a suit. Back of the waistcoat and the inside of the jacket, absolutely fantastic. You know, we do sort of matching stitching on the cuffs to match the inside of the lining and on the buttonhole.
Yay! Can you imagine? I mean, just an American flag lining. An American flag lining. Match your guitar.
That'd be awesome. Maybe I could come for the final fitting to pick it up.
That would be brilliant.
Come over there to pick it up.
Yeah, that would be
excellent. In the summer.
The whole thing just for the suit. Well, I'll get your information from Denise so I could get in touch with you about that.
Yeah, no, that sounds like an excellent plan.
Everybody should consider this. Everyone should consider this.
I love it.
I don't have an American flag lining though. I will say that.
Oh, I don't. That's fine.
But you know,
she's got the guitar.
Fantastic linings. Yeah.
I actually have a jacket with a pride flag lining inside it. It says "Love is love" in the rainbow colors inside.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's really
listen,
cool.
You guys, this has been great. And I know I've kept you way over a half an hour, Shaz, so I apologize.
Oh, no, it's fine by me. I would talk all night.
We would sit here all night too, but I know you gotta go. So this is fantastic. The butchclothingcompany.com. If they want to email you directly, it's Shaz at thebutchclothingcompany.co.uk.
Yeah, and Shaz with an S. Yeah.
Shaz with a Z.
S and a Z on the end. Yeah. So it's SHAZ.
SHAZ. Got it. Z.
Yeah.
So that's all the information one could possibly devour. And the great news is 7 to 9 weeks is like that. That's fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah, and often it's a lot quicker. You want to manage people's expectations.
Oh, definitely.
So, you know, time management is one of those expectations,
fantastic. I love it. And like you said, like you can, a suit like that will carry you for.
Yeah, in all its many elements, that's the thing. That's how to think about it. And people always end up buying shirts and stuff like that as well, because it's great to have some shirts that actually fit you.
For sure. You don't have to buy a suit. You could just get a shirt if you want.
You can just get shirts. You can just get a waistcoat. You can just get trousers. I mean, it's. I mean, people often find that a little bit more expensive because obviously they have to have the measurement profile taken.
Yeah.
And I always take a full measurement profile. I don't just do half a measurement and I do charge a measurement profile fee of £75 a person. Which basically guarantees my time through the consultation and covers any alterations or remakes that are required when the suit's made. So there's no further costs. Yeah. So and then they've always got their profile there. So if they want anything from a winter overcoat to a shirt, to a waistcoat, to trousers, then it's all there. Their profile's ready, and we can make anything from that profile. So it's clever stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'll say.
Exciting.
Well, listen, I want to congratulate you too on going this long. This is, like you said, 2009, 2010. Here we are, 2022. You're still kicking, you're still rocking. You're getting orders from all over the globe. It's an incredible testament to your business.
Yeah, some have come and go. I have to say that some companies have come and not made it, and it's taken a lot of sweat and toil to make it, and a lot of self-investment and a lot of self-belief to kind of try and my wife has been so unbelievably supportive of this company, because there's been times when it's been a really tough road, and the last couple of years are no exception. And it's only just starting to sort of pick up now, really, the last sort of 6 months. And it's still slow at the moment, but you keep going and you don't give up. And I think the message of the company is important. I've been able to do a lot of charity work because of the company, and I've been able to start a charity with Age UK in this country for lonely and isolated people. And I know that I only got an in for that because of what I've done with the company. And it's not a charity, and obviously it's an expensive business, but I do like to think that actually in some small way we are able to change people's lives. It's not brain surgery, but it is making a difference to people that otherwise really struggle. So I'm proud of what we do, and I'm proud of my team and everybody from my bookkeeper to my accountants to my master tailor to my fabric suppliers, to everybody that works with me. It takes a village, exactly.
Yes.
But what people see and what people get is me, and I think that I just maintain that. To me, that's so important, because I don't trust anybody else to get it as much as I get it. So I suppose when I do retire, I won't, if I ever retire, I won't sell the company on, because the company's me.
Right.
And I want people to be able to know that they're working with someone that actually understands them and actually gets it.
Yeah, it's a rare thing. Yeah.
Yes, the integrity is amazing, for the business sense.
Thank you.
Well done,
Much
you.
appreciated. Thank you. Thank you. That's nice. I shall go to bed on a high.
Yeah, definitely. I hope we get to do like an event or something together. It's been a blast.
Yeah, well, we should do lunch.
Yeah, at least. I'm in Wallington.
Oh, well, my nan and granddad lived in Wallington.
Shut up.
Yeah, they lived in flats in Wallington. Yeah, they were in Cheam. And they had a prefab near St Heliers Hospital, and then they moved into Wallington, and then they moved into Merstrom. But yeah, so
good. Okay, so you know how to get here.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, Wallington's not a million miles. We're Paddock Wood, so it's only around the M25.
Yeah, I do. I've seen the signs for it before. That's awesome. That's great. All right. Well, listen. And
JD's going to come visit. So I mean,
when I go to lunch, when I pick up my suit.
Yeah, totally.
We're gonna get JD here at some point, somehow.
I am working on it. Yes.
Definitely. All right, friends. Have a good night. Thank you so much for doing this. Much
Thanks for having me.
Take care.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Why do you always run back to
Like, never stop chasing your dreams.
You're addicted to her touch. That's true. My addiction. And my addiction is you.
We drank way too much whiskey.
Don't ask me why I'm here tonight. I had to take this midnight drive to find you. And as I come in through the door, I see her dancing on the floor beside you. Why do you always run back to the lover you once knew? You're addicted to her touch, that's true. And I confess, my addiction is you. winter.